Greetings and welcome back to the channel. I really hate to see people pay to have their taxes done, especially if they have relatively simple returns or are lower income. I know most of us already think we're paying the government too much money for what we're getting in return. Why pay another company on top of that if we don't need to? Before looking this up, I was thinking back to a time when taxes and prep fees started around $50. So I wasn't sure what I was going to find yet. I didn't think it would be this high, but according to the Intuit Accountants Study, they found that the national averages for Form 1040 income tax returns for those who charge for these forms in these particular scenarios, if you have two W-2s and a state return, which is a very simple tax return, the average was $238. If it gets a slightly more complicated and you have like a Schedule D, which is capital gains, 1099s, could be anything, pensions, whatever, child tax credit, two state returns, it's still fairly simple taxes, that's $350. And then once I get into the more complicated ones, we're looking at $537. Then at H&R Block, there are free online options, and I'll get into more of those later on through the IRS. But if you have a simple return and you don't mind entering the information yourself, they do have free online options. But if you want to do a deluxe version, it's starting at $55 for federal and $45 per state. And then if you want help with in an office or virtually, they'll help you prep for $89, starting at $89. Now, I did think this was funny on Deluxe that get help from a live expert and our AI tax assist. Now, it's funny because the whole artificial intelligence thing, and this is not something they would have probably referred to this as in the past. It was a form of AI that helped you with the guided questions and answers and stuff like that that didn't involve an actual person. But they've updated it. Of course, they want to mention that it's AI, and it's a big topic right now. So a lot of people probably want to advertise that they have AI. Now, I mentioned using the Free File Lookup tool from the IRS, and this is the page. I'll put a link in the description below. But you have option one here that if your adjusted gross income is $79,000 or less, you can click on this link and it'll basically take you through some simple questions to see if you qualify for any of the free preparers. It's online preparation again, but it will guide you to a free preparer. I use this almost every year just to find out which one I can use because again, I don't mind entering this information myself. The other option, and I've actually used this in the past when I didn't qualify, it wasn't always $79,000. There was a time when it was less than this to qualify. And the only way I could file for free was using the fillable forms option, which is an option, but basically you do it through the IRS. You create an account and you're able to fill out the forms as if you were going to mail them in, and you can mail them in still. But you can submit them electronically. It says e-file federal tax forms. And basically you just manually go through and do everything yourself. So you enter all of the information, and you'll have to use the instructions and anything you can find on your own. But this is an option if you don't qualify for the free, and it is a free option. But it's basically the same as if you were to get the forms, fill them out by hand, and mail them in. It just gives you an option to do it electronically. To show you what the free file guide looks like, the guided software, basically, okay, your first page you can browse all trusted partners, or you can find a trusted partner. So we're going to use the find trusted partner, and basically you're going to fill out information through. So let's say you're married filing jointly. You select the person you expect to list first. Let's say myself. Enter age. We'll say I wish I was still 35 years old. Let's try that. country, United States. State, we'll just say Arizona. And then this is for a free state tax return. Select your state. Basically, this could be different. The state you live in, you might have to file another state, but we're going to pick Arizona still. Military pay, we'll say no there. Next. If you had no income, what kind of incomes you had. So let's say we had wages, and let's say we were contributing to a 401k, and then it wants an amount. Let's just say it was $5,000. We're going to say we also had investment or interest income. And we'll say we received $100 in interest income. And then we're going to go next. Oh, I didn't enter amount for wages. Let's say we earned $40,000 this year. Next. Earned income tax credit. How many dependents under the age of 19 or between 19 and 23, if they're full-time students, do you have? Let's just say we have one. Based on your inputs, we believe you and your spouse are eligible for earned income tax credit. Please confirm that you're eligible. Now, you can use the EITC assistant to determine eligibility, but we're just going to say yes, we're eligible. And then basically, it brings us to a page here that tells us what our options are. We can use online taxes, Free Tax USA, Tax Slayer has a free option, 1040.com. And these are all links. You can go to the site, you'll enter your information, and it should end up being free. And as you saw before, H&R Block has a free option. Now, they don't show up on here as one of the sites that the IRS links you to, but there are other options other than just these. But this is the one that you can use. The IRS will guide you to if you qualify. So they are giving you a way to find free preparation. In order to help people avoid fees, I decided to sign up and qualify as a volunteer income tax assistance or VITA preparer. You can volunteer through the IRS website and complete the testing online. To find a local preparer, this is the IRS lookup tool. You can hit continue to find a location. Then you can enter your zip code here and enter a radius. So I entered one for Virginia Beach, and 3 different sites come up within 5 miles. The process may vary a little from site to site, but volunteers can help you fill out the standard intake form if necessary. Sites can generally handle interest, dividends, capital gains or losses, pensions, Social Security, Affordable Care Act, health insurance, and multiple other items. If you're not sure if a site can handle your taxes, it can't hurt to ask. If the site can't help or thinks it may be beneficial for you to seek a paid preparer, they'll let you know. They will not suggest a specific preparer. Volunteer sites are able to submit your return electronically, but there is no instant refund option, which paid preparers use in order to take advantage of people who have immediate needs. There are legitimate reasons to use a paid preparer, especially if you have more complicated tax situations. You can choose to have refunds or payments made by check or direct deposit or debit from your bank account. Something I also wanted to point out is that taxes became easier in 2018 with the increase of standard deductions. At the time, only about 11% itemized deductions the first year that this started. And I wanted to find a current article and found this one at Forbes where, it's asking, can itemize save you money? For some people, itemizing reduces their tax bill more than claiming the standard deduction would. However, an estimated 90% of taxpayers choose to claim the standard deduction. Roughly 30% of taxpayers itemized deductions before. So 2017 and before that, it was about 30%. This increase in the standard deduction really reduced, oddly, instead of making things more complicated, actually made things easier. I'm not saying it's necessarily good or bad. There are some downsides to the changes, But to me, overall, it was an improvement. Consider VITA, especially if you think you're overpaying to have your taxes done. And in that case, especially basic taxes, meaning maybe you have 1 or 2 W-2s and a 1099 interest statement, and that's it. And again, like I said before, they can handle much more than that. And it can't hurt to ask. It's going to be free. If they can't help you, they'll let you know that you should seek some other kind of preparation. But thanks for being here. Make sure to comment below, ask questions. I'll answer if I can. I'm not a tax expert. I did qualify to do basic and advanced taxes at VITA, but if I can answer something and I feel comfortable answering it, I will. So put your comments or questions down below. And remember, if you're going to retire, retire to something.